Started off as a midwife, and I guess I started my midwifery right at the very beginning of the active birth movement. And then as I became interested in practicing yoga, I decided to branch off and become a teacher. And in doing that, I always had the dream of being a prenatal yoga teacher. Right from the very beginning, I could see that the two went well together. And there's more to having a baby than just being pregnant and then expecting it all to fall into place. You know, there's a certain amount of work that you can do during your pregnancy to make it a little easier for yourself and to understand what's going on with your body and to connect with your baby. And yoga is a holistic approach to the whole experience of being in a body. Having a baby is one of those aspects of a woman's life. When she passes through that phase of having a baby, she's confronted with a very real aspect of being in a body and not having a lot of control over that physically, but feeling a lot of emotions and a lot of psychological aspects of that she hasn't ever felt before. It provides techniques and understanding for the whole range of aspects through pregnancy and becoming a mum and connecting with that little person that you're growing inside of you, both before and then again during the birth and afterwards. So yeah, I think it provides one of the best holistic ways of preparing for that whole phase of your life of birth and becoming a mum. And then, you know, working with getting your body back to a way that feels comfortable after the birth. Having an understanding of the changes that are going on in the pelvis that are different from a non-pregnant body, the changes that are happening through preparing for breastfeeding, and pure understanding of connecting with a little baby that's growing inside you. To be able to facilitate that to a point where she feels very excited and prepared and not fearful, that's a real joy to see. And I think one of the things I focus on in the course as well is the particular things to be mindful of in regards to what not to do when you're pregnant, you know, ways of making sure that a baby's going to be safe. Just having everything in as optimal place as possible for when that person goes through labour and birth. And I think it's important to really have a good grounding and understanding of that physicality, as well as, you know, the emotional aspect. And it's fun to do meditations with babies involved, and relaxation processes where you connect to baby during the class is a lovely experience. Sets that whole grounding for motherhood. I love anatomy and physiology. I think it's just fascinating. Just seeing the transition that the students go through in being able to say, okay, well, if I was pregnant, or if the student is pregnant, then I know that this is not going to be right because of this. And I know that there are certain processes in pregnancy and certain things that can happen, such as, you know, gestational diabetes or carpal tunnel syndrome, that, you know, we can really help a lot with. So learning about those processes, that's a whole new understanding for a lot of people, especially, you know, yoga teachers who have always worked with non-pregnant people. I think coming to that understanding that this is a whole different physiology. Wonderful for me to teach it, but it's also great to see people understanding that. Seeing the students explore the ways that they can work with the mums and the babies. Seeing how they can just figure out how they're going to incorporate babies into a class and how's that going to work. Take into account that there's going to be babies crawling around. Getting people to think about those things and understand that that's a really important part of the class. And learning new techniques such as baby yoga. The babies love it as well. It does help to mould who they are as people.